Hey, Chris Jenkins, credential member of the media covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, aka Man of the People. I love working for you all. Today, when walking to the stadium for practice, came across a gentleman who introduced himself. Say, hey, I started following you about 3 weeks ago. Didn't get his name, but helped him find the general admission entrance to go to practice, and it's really cool. So again, encourage you all, if you see me out and about walking, training camp is a really good time to see me. Please say hello. Let's take a picture, whatever you want to do. Talk for a second. Really cool stuff. Today we're going to go over practice, the last practice before these Carolina Panthers travel up to New England and take on the Patriots, or travel to Boston technically and take on the New England Patriots. And it was a good practice. You had things that were good on both sides of the ball. I feel like Bryce is doing pretty well making his connections to his wide receivers. Bryce is doing pretty well scrambling around to get some passes out. I'm going to talk through that a little bit from what I see. And then also the defense. They're doing good, you know. What I haven't seen is a complete offensive dominating practice. There has been one defensive time that happened. Excuse me, but it's still things are moving forward for the organization for all three phases as a whole, which is pretty good. Defense had some pretty good pass breakups. And if you have not ever checked out the highlight video that I put out each day, so each day it's 2 videos guaranteed, some days 3. First video will be highlights from today, so that video is always out, and that's out about an hour after practice ends. And then there's the live recap video, which is what you're watching here right now. And on days where there is a third video, that will be the exclusive one-on-one interview that I do with the rookies. So please subscribe to the channel, help support us, independent media. Become a member, please. Let's maybe have a goal now of getting a member joining each day. Link is in the description for you to become a member. You have special access to see videos early before everybody else does, like my one-on interview with Trevin Wallace. Hey, I had a great time with Trevin Wallace today, and here's a tease for that Trevin Wallace video.
What they call me?
Yeah, what they call you? We got a nickname?
I got a nickname, but I don't think I can say it.
I mean, we can whisper it.
They call me FAT.
Say that one more time.
FAT. They call me fat, but it's abbreviated for something else.
Okay. I got to admit, I'm older than I look. I have no idea what you're talking about, so we're going to do some Googling.
I don't think it's on Google. I'll tell you right now.
So that was an interview that I did just earlier today with linebacker Trevin Wallace, our 3rd round pick out of Kentucky. I think he's a really likable guy. I love doing videos with the rookies because I like to give you all a chance to know the person behind the helmet as well as the player. So it just, to me, just makes being a fan that much more better when you get to know them a little bit more personally. He was great to talk to, great family guy. So again, that video is already up for people that are members of the channel. And if you're not a member of the channel, that video will be live just a couple hours from now. It'll be live at 8 p.m. tonight for you to check that out. All right, so we got a few things that we're going to go over today. We got the play-by-play recap that we're going to go through. Again, I'll just touch it on the highlight observations from practice. Then we're going to go through player and coach interviews, and then a little bit of miscellaneous / taking your question and answer. So please, if you have any questions, line them up. I'll do my best to get to them before we get out of here. And so we got some early people that have jumped on today. A little bit later broadcast than normal. Roadmaster saying, what's up, my guy? How's it going? And Nicole S saying, hey, y'all. Hey, how's it going? Thank you to both of you, too. So a little bit later live video today because we had to leave the stadium at 1 o'clock today due to that big friendly soccer match that's taking place. So that pushed me back a little bit with getting things because I had to immediately leave, come to the studio, and do the video. So just a little explanation behind that. All right, without further ado, let's get into my highlight play-by-plays. Appreciate the likes that are coming through. Please continue to hit that like button as you watch the show. So Bryce, as usual, starts out. It's been interesting to see right now at practice with Andy Dalton being out. Andy will do the one-on-one. I wouldn't even say one-on-one. He'll do the quarterback drills, throwing the ball, but he will not do anything that's team-oriented. So as usual, we start off with Bryce, and we're saying 50-50. I don't know if it's even 50-50. I haven't looked at my notes, but I would say it's probably a pretty good 50-50 of Bryce Young and Jack Plummer at quarterback. And, you know, Jack has taken advantage of the additional time and it's showing some improvement. So good for Jack getting that additional time and taking advantage of it. But Bryce started out, handoff, hit a few passes. Jake came in. I'm sorry, Jack. Now that we got two J's, I'm going to struggle, right? We got Jack Plummer and Jake Luton. I got to get it right. Jack comes in, hands off, and then throws a few completions. Today was a padded day. Fortunately, you're not seeing anything that's egregious or reckless by some players. You'll see some extra contact, of course, here and there, but overall they're doing pretty good at playing smart, protecting each other. What's up, Mike Long? Appreciate you signing on and saying hello when you sign in. Jack then had a completion to David. I'm sorry, not a completion to David Moore. Yes, sorry. Jack did have a completion to David Moore. The defender fell down, but on that play it was a flag. So I'm not sure if that was David pushing off. That's how it got so open and the defender falling. But nevertheless, it was a good thrown ball by Jack. Then some handoffs. Now here's a play that I liked. And I liked because I haven't seen a play like this too often. And that is Bryce Young in the backfield. Not in the backfield, but Bryce Young dropping back to throw a pass. Does some scrambling around, keeps his eyes down the field, and throws a long pass. He was rolling to his right, and he threw it down to his left. That is something that I don't know if because, this year Canales has given Bryce the ability to throw off schedule. That's not exactly what I would call off schedule. That's extending the play is what he did on that one. But I haven't seen him extend the play and go to throw the ball as deep as he threw it today. He didn't connect on that pass. I strongly believe it was for Jonathan Mingo. I didn't put it in my notes, but something I want to share with you all on that. Those are team drills. They did went into a 7-on-7 period. And this is where, in my opinion, the defense did a little bit better. Now, the offense didn't do bad at all, but the defense did do good with several pass breakups. So there was one intended to, from Bryce, intended for Amir Smith-Marset, and that was a pass breakup by the defender. And then there was an incompletion by Bryce to Deontay Johnson. That one was also a pass breakup. And if you guys want, I've got my notes on 3 screens here at the studio, so I'm looking around to get that. Bryce did hit a quick slant to Terrace Marshall. So Terrace Marshall Jr. got injured yesterday during practice. He was down on the field for a couple of minutes, eventually getting up under his own strength, walking to the field that's adjacent, 2 fields side by side, and not leaving on the cart. So coach afterwards said that the wind just got knocked out of him. They'll continue to evaluate. Great to see that Terrace was good enough to be back out there on the field today and being a full participant in practice. So that's pretty good. Let's see, Jack was back in here making some completions. Then another pass breakup by a defender, wasn't able to get that defender's name. So good completions, good pass breakups. Again, I feel like there's a good progression on both sides of the ball today in practice. And then we had a very, very nice diving catch from Jack to tight end Felipe Franks. Really good, nice diving catch by the tight end to bring that in. And then they took their pads off. I don't really know what that was about. So it was a half padded practice, half what they call shells. And I'm proud of myself for saying this because I was asking people, say, hey, I think they took their pads off. And a lot of people are like, I don't know where they do with their pads. But nevertheless, it has been confirmed. Half of the practice was in pads. The other half is what they call their shells. So it's like semi-padded equipment that they have on. And Bryce started off again, handed off to Chuba. Chuba's getting a lot of carries these past couple of days. And then just took note, you guys have asked me about the offensive line. I forget who it was, has asked about the center exchange. I still haven't seen it. I'm not saying it's not there because I don't always have the clearest view. So I still haven't been able to hone in. From my view, it's always a little bit hard to see the snap, to be honest with you. So maybe if you're sitting on the other side where the general mission is, you can be behind the quarterback and see. But the media is on the side, typically on the defensive side. So I have to see through the defenders to see the snap, and I can't see the ball. Just want to give you that explanation for why I haven't been able to hone in on that. But I was trying to watch the line is what I'm getting to, and Bryce did end up making a completion to Deontay Johnson, but I noticed big old Damian Lewis took down TJ Smith. So it's always kind of funny to see one of those takedowns and then you lay on them kind of thing. So it was good to see that, even though the offensive line has recently had some struggles. Again, I still think there's progress being made for this team as a whole, and I want to point out that observation from one of the plays. Bryce with another scramble. He hit Deontay on this play, and the ball fell out. Don't quite know if that was the ball fell out because Deontay couldn't hold on to it completely with the contact, or if that defensive back was able to knock it out of him. But again, wanted to put that note out there. Derek Brown, he looked darn good. He was an All-Pro last year. Looked like he is on track to be an All-Pro this year. He's just doing beast-like moves. I saw him kind of start out on the left and use a little bit of speed to go around the right. Still came around and got some pressure on the quarterback at that time. And, a big guy that can move like that is just phenomenal. So Derek Brown continuing to be a strong point on this defense. Just got to see how much him and Clowney can play off each other to make up for that loss in production with some of the guys we have that have left this team. Let's see. So Jake Luton, did I get it right? Yeah, Jake Luton is back with the team. He was with us last year's quarterback. I haven't seen him get any reps in the team environment. And considering that the first preseason, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but considering that the first preseason game is in 2 days and Bryce Young is not going to play, I don't know if I can say I get it. I just don't like it. I don't think it's fair for the other guys to have to be like just Jack is all you get, and then you may get Jake as you're trying to make this team. You just maybe feel like there's going to be a lot of handoffs. So the receivers, if you're a receiver that hasn't impressed, you're going to have a hard time impressing, in my opinion, when you have Jack as your quarterback and Jake as your quarterback, especially when Jake hadn't had any team reps. Now, the good thing you could say is, well, he's been in the league, so once he gets his the language down and the plays down, which he has another, almost 48 hours to do, that it could be beneficial. I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm being too sensitive. But I'm jumping ahead of myself. I would like to see Bryce play a little bit, and I feel like he can easily protect himself from the injury. He's smart. Everybody talks about how cerebral he is. If you see that the play's busted right away, just throw the daggone ball down in the dirt, right? Anyway, I'll come back to that since I'm jumping ahead of myself a little bit. Bryce, they were in a red zone. Bryce had a play, kind of faked me out a little bit, but he had a good play action, or I don't know if it was a RPO, but nevertheless, he put it in there, kept the ball, and kind of jogged it in for a touchdown. So that was a cool play to see. Also, have seen Bryce today and maybe even yesterday throw across his body pretty effectively. Not something you want to see all the time or see him thrown off his back foot, but certainly having that in your repertoire, because sometimes you may need to do something like that. Bryce has shown those skills lately. There was a batted ball by 99 shot total, and then there was an interception of Bryce by the recently acquired free agent Josie Jewell, and there was a lot of celebration, as you could imagine, by the defense from that when he got that interception. And then there was a drop by Amir Smith-Marset. I don't know if I should say it, but I've already said it. He's still been having a good practice. The drop that he had that was slightly behind him, and that was the end of my notes. So we'll go ahead and continue to move along with some interviews, followed by the depth chart, and then some Q&A. So I see some questions that have been coming. Keep those questions coming. Keep those questions coming. I will. Nobody said anything about the blue in the background. I made some special efforts for that blue in the background. Let me know what you think about all of that blue. Let's continue to work through it, though. So, player and coach interviews. Dave Canales came up, and I've kind of already let the cat out the bag about Bryce Young, or given a little bit of comment. I wouldn't say let the cat out the bag because it was in the title, right? Bryce Young will not be playing in week 1 of the preseason. But here's Coach Dave Canales giving a little bit more information about not only Bryce Young, but the starters as a whole and what we could expect to see on Thursday.
Yeah, so we got a big meeting this afternoon. What I have to do is I have to connect with our trainers, connect with our staff to just kind of see who's going to be available for us, and then we'll make the decisions after that. Bryce will not play. Okay, and then we'll take that kind of week to week and get a sense for, do we need to get him out there in this system and kind of get a couple of series, and do that. That's something that, I've done in the past. We've done both. So for this game, he will not play. Yeah, so you can't play scared, but you got to be smart. And so, yeah, it's a factor for sure. We're thinking about that, with the guys we're counting on. We're definitely taking that into consideration, Joe, for sure. And then our live move the ball periods, we're going 1s versus 1s all camp, and so those are so valuable, especially at the end of practice when we're tired. We get into the move the ball settings. We'll have the Jets in here. That's going to be a fantastic day. I can't wait. That's great work for those guys. So we got to take advantage of those windows.
All right, so there you have it. A little bit more information about how they're tonight going through that process of getting the actual starters, and injuries play a part of it, and why he feels like it's not that bad of an idea to not play Bryce. Yes, injury balancing was a part of it. Yes, you have the joint practices with the Jets coming up, but nevertheless, Bryce will not be our guy, and we'll see. Now, he said that Jack's been doing well. I think you got to say that at this point because he's going to obviously be your primary quarterback. He's been doing okay. He has improved. But we'll see. We'll see. No Andy, no Bryce. And you're looking at a third-string quarterback and a guy that came in a couple days ago. To me, that's a little tough for those other wide receivers that are fighting for a spot to get evaluated on. But it is what it is. Hey, got some breaking news. I don't know if this is the right sound effect. It's not the highest of, most important breaking news, but it is just recent news. So let me see. Hopefully this is it. A good one. Let's play it. You can let me know in the comments if that is a bad breaking news siren. But nevertheless, there was a player that got injured today, and that was J.D. Lorenzo. And he was injured today in practice, something I think with his heel. Let's see if I can go to my notes real quick. He had an ankle injury. Coach told us today that J.D. Lorenzo had an ankle injury. And, well, since he's had that ankle injury, hours later, life in the football or in the NFL, he has been waived injured, and the club has claimed defensive back Caden Stearns off waivers. Stearns was a 5th-round draft pick by the Denver Broncos back in 2021. And just trying to quickly digest this information to share with you all. Yeah, so again, J.D. Lorenzo waived injured. And then the Carolina Panthers picked up defensive back Caden Stearns off waivers. And you could imagine that a lot of that will be happening for this Carolina Panthers team as they have the number 1 waiver spot. By the way, Caden most recently played for the Broncos. But you got to imagine And Dan Morgan has basically said it. He's going to be very active, taking advantage of that number 1 pick in waivers while they have it, to just continue to try to find those diamonds in the rough, right? If he got that luxury right now, luxury that he doesn't want to continue to have, but he has right now, so he's going to take advantage of it. And there you have it, picked up off the waivers. So a few people liked it. All right, one more time. Let me know, what do you think about the breaking news? Breaking news. I'm Chris Jenkins for Charlotte. No, I won't do that to you guys. You know I'm a normal guy. I don't get into that TV voice. I'm just me. But, yeah, that's Dave Canales on Bryce. And what should we see this Thursday? What is head coach David Canales looking to see this Thursday? And I don't have that information ready. So, hold on a second, guys. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna try to get I'm trying to get something available. So it's gonna be muted for maybe a minute. So if you're watching live, just hold on. I'm gonna try to get this clip ready for you. I forgot to get this clip ready before I went live, but give me just a minute. I wish I had something else I could play for you during this time, but give me a minute, and I'm going to get that ready for you. 1 second. All right, sorry. Again, I need a second. I had to mute myself while I got this audio clip ready for you. I probably need about 20 more seconds to get this clip ready. So everybody that's live, or if you're watching recorded, just hold on. I'm gonna try to get it together as quickly as possible. So 1 second. All right, looks like it's literally 30 seconds away. But it'll be, I probably could play some sound effects. Go! I'm coming.
What?
All right, I gotta export this file. 9 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Again, really appreciate the patience for everybody. I like to be on top of my stuff, so I'm a little disappointed I didn't have this together. But here we go. What I want to play for you, clip of Dave Canales talking about what he's going to be watching for and hoping to see from his team. And let me listen carefully to what he's talking about, because I continue to tell you guys, I'm a buyer of the Dave Canales spirit, personality, culture that he's building to see, feeling like it's going to be something good for this team long term. I want to hear from you. So here's Dave Canales on what he's looking for this Thursday.
I get my workout in before. I'm definitely excited. The thing I'm most excited about really is not for me. My excitement is to see our team play like us. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. I want to see us play so hard. I want to see us finish through the echo of the whistle. I want to see us execute at a high level, particularly when we're tired. I want to see the excitement of the guys that aren't in connected to the players that are making plays, because that's what creates that bond, is the support, celebrating. We talk about enthusiasm all the time with our play style, and that enthusiasm comes from our players. We bring the juice, and that's kind of the selling point to our guys it's always us. When we're at home, we love it when our fans get behind us, but we have to create it as a group. We're the ones that have to elevate our readiness to run and hit. And we have to be able to take that anywhere we go at any time. So I'm looking for that, and that's what I'm most excited about. And yes, I mean, definitely just, calling the plays, handling the exchanges with the officials, do we decline this penalty? Do we not? I'm excited about all those things. These are new things that I've observed, but it's going to be really cool to be right at the center of making those calls.
Dave, with your wide receiver back.
So there you have it. Coach Canales talking about he's just looking forward to seeing the team become us, become who they're going to be. Who was it the other day? Man, I'm going to draw a blank. But just talked about this team being a player-led team, and the good teams that this player was talking about that they've been on, they have been player-led. And Coach Canales said, yeah, it's, they're the guys out there that's executing. They're in the trenches. We're just calling plays, and that's an important part. But having a player-led team, having guys that hold themselves accountable, it's also a culture that comes from the coaches and is guided by the coaches. So that's what he's looking forward to seeing. Again, I felt like it was important to share that information with you all. I didn't want to try to paraphrase it because I want you to hear everything that he said. And let me know as I go live for interacting with you all. Let me know if you are like me. Like, I'm not saying I'm sold that we're going to be great or how good we're going to be this season, but I'm more sold and optimistic about Coach Canales being the right guy to get us there. Xavier Woods also came to the podium today, talked to the media. The one takeaway that I had that I thought was interesting to share with you all is they have fines. They fine each other. So the other day, J.C. Horn had an interception that he did not catch, and so he got fined for that. Xavier Woods today had a play in which, it's to be determined if he's going to be fined for that or not. But yeah, the secondary, I think, is pretty cool. They have a system in which they are finding each other for things of, like, basically, you could have done better, do better. And so at the end of the season, Xavier Woods is the treasurer. He collects all the money for it. And then at the end of the season, they do something as a group with the money. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, so that is my play-by-play recap. That is my coaches and interviews recap. We're going to get into some Q&A for you guys. But let's have a little fun segment here. I was able to capture some video of Bryce Young interacting with some of the wide receivers. And today was not the first day that I saw this. And Cam Newton, and Bryce is not going to be Cam. Bryce, I'm sure, doesn't want to be Cam in terms of his energy and who he was. Just be who you are. But Cam had a few things. One of them was giving everybody nicknames. That was something the media would love to ask him, especially when a new player came. Hey Cam, what's your nickname for this player? I think Bryce Young has a handshake thing. So I was able to capture the video today of him with his handshakes with some of the players. And I'm going to play that video and ask you all to let me know, does Bryce have like a new handshake thing? What do you notice about these handshakes? So you tell me if you need to see it again, but I had to mute the video because I didn't want YouTube to catch me with copyright music. So that's why you heard some background noise and I took it out. Hopefully they do not catch me on that. But does Bryce Young have a handshake thing with the wide receiver? I'm going to go ahead and play it one more time. I'm going to play it one more time. Here we go. Bryce with his handshakes. So this is muted. I mean, that looks like something with Mingo, right? And then here with Deontay, they're talking about getting some things straight. And this was much shorter, but it's a little something, right? It's a little something. I'm curious what it is. Me and my son, Cameron, we got a handshake down that we love to do, and I look forward to doing that. Anyway, that's something fun that I wanted to share with you guys. Let's also touch on this depth chart. And then we got some questions to answer. Let's go ahead and touch on this depth chart. Came out the other day, hopefully you can see this on your screens. I'm just going to read the first teamers. You got your wide receivers, Deontay, Adam Thielen, Jonathan Mingo, Yelan Icky, Damian Lewis, Austin Corbett, Robert Hunt, Taylor Moton, Trimble and Thomas as your projected tight ends. They're currently dealing with some injuries. And then Bryce, of course, is your quarterback, and Chuba as your running back. Not surprisingly, the coach said he feels like that first team is pretty solid, pretty firm, but that second and third, fourth, fifth, sixth, if you're in the running back room because they go that deep, well, that one's going to be a little bit more fluid. Let's go to the defensive side. You got Derek Brown, Shai Tuttle, A'Shawn Robinson, Davian Clowney. As up front, you got Shaq Thompson, Josie Jewell, DJ Johnson, last year's draft pick. At your linebackers, cornerbacks, J.C. Horn and Dane Jackson. Safeties, Xavier Wood, Jordan Fuller. And then your nickel back, Troy Hill. And then you got all the others falling after that. So I'll give you guys a moment to soak that in. And then let's go to last but not least, special teams. Kickoff return looking like Raheem Blackshear. Punt return, Amir Smith-Marset. J.J. Jansen, no long snapper competition this year. Punter Johnny Hecker, no competition for him. And then Eddie Pinheiro and Harrison Mevis out there as well. Now, with Harrison Mevis and Eddie Pinheiro, there will be a concerted effort to give both of those guys opportunities to kick. Even Dave Canales is hoping that perhaps there's a chance to kick a long field goal in a game situation, that he'll have that opportunity to make that judgment on whether they want to punt it or whether they want to run one of those guys out there and make the kick, being between Eddie and Mevis. I personally think that Eddie really has this locked in. To me, Eddie's just going to have to fall apart to start to give Mevis any kind of competition. Even if Eddie misses one, I don't think that's enough to give Mevis an opportunity to catch up to him. So that's the depth chart. And then, since we're talking about kickers, and some of you may remember just a few years ago, because it seems like Panther fans don't forget opportunities when we could have had something good. Harrison Butker, congratulations to you, former Carolina Panther draft pick and practice squad player for, I think, a week. He's now the highest paid kicker in the league for Kansas City, averaging just over $6 million per year. Give it up for Harrison, and having a bonus guaranteed almost $18 million guaranteed. So there you have it. All right, let's go ahead and get through some of these questions. Thank you all so much for patiently waiting. Michael Long, what's going on? You seen your name, had to speak. No worries, man. I'm here to talk with you. Hey, Chris, I hope that this is the correct decision. He's talking about Bryce Young not starting, or not playing it actually, this Thursday. I feel you need to get as much or as many reps with the new O-line. This is the time to put in the work and get on the same page. Yeah, I do wish he would play. I know there's a potential for injury. I saw a video out there on Twitter about the line kind of giving up a bad rep Taylor Moton did, and kind of letting the guy right through. I feel like you can game plan for it, and I just would like to see. I don't think it's imperative, but I personally would like to see Bryce get in some snaps. I think that you can protect him from injury, and just, even if it's one series, get him out there and see what happens. I mean, you could also do it based on, okay, where's the ball at? First and 10, hand it off. If you get some decent yards and you can have him in a shotgun or have him drop back, then now you can have him throw him potentially second and third. I feel like you can protect Bryce with the play calling, but yeah, give a chance for Austin Corbett, new center. And I don't say that Austin Corbett, new center, as in Austin is brand new to the position. He's had a lot of experience being a center. He felt like he was going to be a center anyway, but just giving him some live reps in a game environment to do that, the whole play calling with the head coach for the first time calling, I just would like to see it. I really would. Walt G, I'm not sure what your statement is there. Make that for play. I'm not sure what you're talking about. If you have a chance to update me on that, that would be good. Big Willie style. Is it more Bryce is behind, or is it more don't want to get Bryce hurt? So yeah, I would. It's nothing to do with Bryce being behind. It's just, more the protecting him thing. All right. Hey, Roadmaster, that's why we do it. We do it for the interactions. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so I hate when I have to give you pause or dead air, so to say, for 30 seconds to a minute like I did earlier. But it really is a good value, right? It's really something that's unique. And having a credentialed member of the media, having lives where we interact. So glad that you enjoyed. Appreciate the comment. And now you know what? Now you got to become a member. All right? Become a member, support the channel. Take advantage of some of our members-only videos. And our members get special recognition each and every time they sign on and leave a comment. So hopefully you'll consider doing that and supporting the channel, being a part of helping something grow into something a lot bigger. Jay Issue says, has Xavier Legette gotten back to practice? No, he has not. Legette has not gotten back to practice. I'm guessing Mingo getting a starting role due to it being his second year. I hope he does something this season because separation sure isn't one. You're saying that Mingo doesn't get separation? Yeah, he's been very solid. He's been very solid. Robert Truesdale, Bryce really not playing. Why wouldn't they want to see him for at least a drive or two? Maybe the O-line really doesn't look too good. Yeah, Robert, I've already touched on it. There have been some times where they don't look perfect. I know yesterday, the run defense didn't look too good from the O-line. It was pretty bad, but that was deemed like a slow start by the offense from the coach. I've seen times where there's been some pressure on Bryce, but you would expect that, especially as the offense kind of gets their rhythm together. The defense always has the advantage. I just really wish that he would play. I don't feel like, I feel like you can call plays to protect him from an injury. And I feel like with all the new things in place that you just would like to see it. What's up, Richard Fearing, hopefully I said that correctly. Appreciate all the great work you do for the Panther Nation, man. The people, keep up the great work. Thank you all very much. Thank you all. I will be traveling to the New England game. I'm trying to think of how I can share that with you more, because I do like to do a lot of behind-the-scenes reporting of what all it takes. I think that's just cool to see. It's cool to experience, so I feel like it's cool to see. But I hadn't figured it out. So if you have any ideas on how, or if you have any interest, maybe you guys say, no, Chris, we don't want to see you travel and what that's like. I don't know. But again, I just trying to do different stuff. All right. Guess what we just got?
Super Chat.
Oh, we got to do it again. Mess it up.
Super Chat.
All right. We got a super chat from Digit BR, man of the people. My high school initials are somewhat similar, so when you guys first started that MOTP, I'm thinking like, who from my high school is on my video? But nevertheless, I got it. I appreciate it, man of the people. Super chat, $2. Hey, you will help pay for, I'm sure, something on this trip that I have coming up, because I got a confession. I haven't booked my hotel or my car yet. Things have been going on, and now my car rental price has doubled, if not tripled. I forget, but man, I hate it. It's my fault. So your $2, will certainly be used to help continue to support the channel and cover the cost of doing what I do to bring the news to you guys. Chris, what rookie stood out in camp you like so far? I don't have one yet. I'm sorry. Quite honest, I don't have one yet. I get more into that once I see them in some preseason action. How has Charles Smith-Wade looked in camp? I don't have any big feedback on that, but I do have an interview that I was looking for. I don't quickly have it. I have interviewed Charles Smith-Wade, so if you haven't looked at it, check it out. Today's interview that will be live for those that are not members will be live at 8 o'clock, but for the members, it's already out there. And for, I think I'll try to convince Digit to be a member, or for whoever I've talked to try to convince you to be a member. There's a link in the description if you don't know how to help you easily become a member, support the channel, would appreciate it. Yeah, so those are my 3 interviews. We'll keep it going. So that's it for now. Appreciate everybody for watching. The next time you see me, I will be, I can't say on the field because it's supposed to rain, but I will be in New England at Patriots Stadium reporting on preseason game number 1. Thank you all so much. Like the video, tell a friend. See you soon.